So have you ever seen like clouds in the air, right? And think, how is that cloud suspended there, right? Like how is the cloud just floating? And not only is the cloud floating, right? How much does it weigh and why are all the bottoms level, right? It almost looks like they're sitting on like an invisible shelf of some sort, like they're on like some sort of table or level platform, right? I found it very interesting. Thought I'd ask some questions. So I thought I'd look up how much does an average cloud weigh, right? Like, shouldn't be too much. It's floating in air, right? We have gravity. There's no way to, I'm curious, right? It says after doing the math, an average kilometer by kilometer cumulus cloud weighs about 1.1 million pounds. What? Now, obviously, that made no sense to me, right? I'm a logical thinking person, and a little bit of common sense, a little bit in there. How does something that is 1.1 million pounds float in the air if we're on a globe and gravity, mass attracts mass and blah, blah, it's not making any sense, right? And then, obviously, on a flat Earth, everything is density and buoyancy, and has nothing to do with gravity because it's never been isolated. Then I saw this said, even though a cloud weighs tons, it doesn't fall on you because the rising air responsible for its formation keeps the cloud floating in air. Okay, well, how does it do that? Well, the air below the cloud is denser than the cloud. Thus, the cloud floats on top of the denser air near the land surface. So interesting. So it's almost like, the cloud, as it gets more dense, right? When the rain accumulates and becomes heavier, we get rain and now it falls down, but gravity's there the whole time. Why? It seems like it's only a matter of the density and the buoyancy in relation to the medium, which is air in this case. Gravity's, nowhere to be found, but I don't know, I'm sure it's just a coincidence. But if you're not one of those coincidence guys, right, it says the bottom of a cloud is typically flat because it marks the altitude where rising warm air cools enough to condense into visible water droplets, creating a consistent level across the given area, while the top is not flat because the air continues to rise and expand because that's not the water, right? The water settles down, it's denser, goes flat, and it finds level, even in air. Everything is water, whether it be water, air, it's all a type of water. Some has more oxygen, some has more hydrogen, that's just how things are. Now, resulting in a puffy, fluffy appearance as a new cloud on top of the initial condensation level. So where the water is, we get a level, just like on the ocean. And then when the air and or gas cloud forms, the air can go above. And what do you know? Showing that a cloud is a perfect example of density and buoyancy in the relation of the surrounding medium while gravity's present, but not doing anything.